everyone, my name is Taylor Smith, aka the Career Coach, and I'm here in another video to explain to y'all the STAR method and how to use this process to help you with behavioral interviews. So again, my name is Taylor Smith, aka the Career Coach, and I help college students and young professionals get noticed by recruiters, stand out as a top candidate, and get offers for paid internships and full-time opportunities. To learn more about the STAR method and behavioral interviews, make sure to keep on watching this video and I will share these tips with y'all. So first and foremost, what exactly are behavioral interviews? So behavioral interview questions are anything that kind of start off with, tell me about a time when tell me how you would handle this situation. So these types of questions are really meant to ask and see how you would handle different types of situations and assess what your behaviors are like. So although there are no right or wrong answers for these questions, there kind of is. So obviously they're not looking for a specific example because everyone's background and experiences is going to vary, but there are definitely right and wrong things that you want to make sure that you're communicating to the team so they don't think that you're not a team player. They don't think that you don't know how to communicate effectively with others and other things that may easily make you sound like a bad candidate they may not want to hire. So be careful of that while utilizing the STAR method and answering these questions, which we'll go through in a little bit more detail. So what exactly is the STAR method? Well, the STAR method is a formula or a template that you can follow when answering your behavioral type interview questions. And this is going to allow the interviewer to clearly follow your story and make sure that you're hitting all the key highlights to make sure that you're actually really answering their question. So the STAR method is an acronym which stands for situation, task, action, and result. And we're going to go through all four of these in detail so that you get an idea of what each of these mean. And while we are discussing the STAR method, I'm actually going to have an example. So I'm going to use that in order to go through each letter of the acronym so that you can get an idea of how you can utilize each of these in the formula / template to help you in answering these questions. So the example question that we have is to name a time that you dealt with a difficult team member. So the S in STAR stands for situation. So with the situation, you really want to make sure that you're painting a clear picture to the interviewer or the recruiter to let them know what the problem is. So in this example, name a time you dealt with a difficult team member. So I'm going to set the stage and let them know, hey, this is my situation specifically when I dealt with a difficult team member. So in my thermodynamics class, we had to make sure that we worked on a project to calculate bubble temperatures and pressures. And one of my classmates was not showing up to any of our group sessions or not communicating in our group me. So what I did, So the T in STAR stands for task. So now that I've set the stage and let the interviewer know what the actual problem is, now I'm going to clearly reiterate what the task is that I must accomplish in this situation. So we're dealing with a difficult team member, right? I'm just letting you know that I know that we're talking about dealing with a difficult team member. So back to the story, right? I'm in my thermodynamics class. This person isn't showing up to any of our group meetings and he's not communicating in our group chat. So in order to get this person to participate in our group project, I reached out to him, So we'll continue when we get to A. All right, so A in STAR stands for action. So what was it that you actually did? What action did you take or accomplish in order to complete the task? So again, dealing with a difficult team member. So I told you that it's in my thermodynamics class. He's not showing up to stuff. In order to make sure that he's participating, I reached out to him right before class was over. And so I just double checked with him, struck up a conversation to make sure that everything was okay with him personally. And then I asked if he had some time to meet up within the next 24 hours to make sure that we had some time to work on our project together in person. And lastly, the R in STAR stands for result. So what is the final result or what is the positive result that came out of this situation? So again, dealing with the difficult team member, It's my thermal class. He wasn't showing up. In order to get him to participate, I reached out to him before class was over, made sure that everything was okay with him, and then scheduled some time for us to connect in the next 24 to 48 hours to work on our project together in person. During this time, I identified his strong suits, and so we were able to have him work on that part of the project. If he had any questions, I was right there to help him every step of the way. And the final result of this project is that we received an A on the project, and everyone completed their portion correctly. So the biggest thing about the R, the result, you want to make sure that it's always a positive. Some of the questions that you might be asked during a behavioral interview may be something very negative, where they're trying to get a negative response with you or see how you handle adverse situations similar to this one. And even if the case is that, like, some question may be like, tell me about a time that you failed. Even though you're talking about a failure where you didn't meet the expectation of your manager, or maybe even you let down yourself, that's okay. You still need to try to turn it into a positive somehow. So although I failed in this situation, I learned from this experience and I made sure not to make the same mistake again. Same thing when you're asked about your strengths and weaknesses. You may be asked about your weakness, but don't just leave it at that. Make sure that you're always turning it into a positive. So that is the STAR method in a nutshell. We went through all of it. We went through one example in particular. But if you want more help with this one-on-one, definitely suggest that you reach out to me. I'll put my email address in my website, where I include all the different services I offer in the description box below. But making sure that you actually practice interview questions, whether that's from a list of interview questions, a bank, or if it's practicing with someone and doing a mock interview or recording yourself. This is always going to help you become a lot more confident in your interviewing capabilities. I will definitely have more videos and tips and tricks where I share y'all some things that I personally do that help me with interviews and help me be more successful. But if there's anything in particular that y'all have questions about, definitely drop them in the comment section below. A current free guide that tells you how to optimize LinkedIn to get recruiters to notice you and DM you so that they can set you up with interviews. So make sure click the link in the description box below so that you can snag that from my website, because this guide is 100% free, and that is at taylorosmith.com. Thank y'all. Hope y'all learned something from this interview, this video. If you definitely want to stay connected with me, follow me on social media. Make sure to reach out, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Happy job hunting. Take care.